hatred of immigrants, contempt for the truth, greed, and the abuse of power. We are fighting those same evils today. And we need to be clear, shamelessness is not and will never be a superpower. It is the mark of a villain. Kidnapping children is not what great nations do.
The funniest thing about Trump presidency is that it doesn't need parody, it is one. He moves through history like a cartoon come to life, as if sketched by a bored animator during lunch. Jim Carrey doesn't have to impersonate him, Trump shows up already doing the bit. A self-contained satire of leadership, he stumbles from rally to rally with the confidence of a man convinced Air Force One is just his personal golf cart. It political theater with no script, no direction, and no clue where the plot going.
We have a president who started out when the country was together and had a wonderful leader, and he is tearing us limb from limb. Well, destroying every institution.
Let's talk about this Donald Trump, even though we don't want to. Let's bring in on the panel for this.
He's a car salesman. He's a used car salesman.
Absolutely.
And he's, you know, he didn't make America great again, but he did turn back the odometer. So who knows what the hell is wrong with us?
Carrey nails the sheer absurdity of Trump facial theatrics. Every smirk, squint, and over-rehearsed pout feels ripped from a kid's puppet show that got cancelled halfway through its pilot. His expressions never rise to meet the seriousness of the moment, they mirror a guy just caught cutting the buffet line. He the only world leader who can stride into a summit with global powers and somehow still look like he's trying to sell discount steaks in a strip mall parking lot.
And if anything, we've got to get back to a place where we realize that a vote is not who you are. You know, and because you voted Republican, you're not stupid, you're not different, you're not worthless. You know, I could break bread with anybody who voted for Trump. We could find some common ground to love each other through, you know? So, just stop doing stupid shit!
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Trump speeches, meanwhile, play out like pure cartoon chaos. Instead of policy, he tosses out random lines like a magician pulling rabbits from a hat, only these rabbits are half-baked claims that fall apart the moment anyone checks them. Carrey spins it into slapstick brilliance, a president juggling flaming torches of misinformation while insisting everything fine. Even as the curtains behind him catch fire, Trump doesn't offer reassurance, he delivers an unhinged improv set at the world's most dangerous comedy club.
As I watched this week, what I kept thinking was, it all comes down to this case of narcissistic personality disorder. We've all talked about it since you've been on the public scene. But we see it in real time. Somebody really unraveling, spiraling toward madness.
So I'm an asshole? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. We're talking,
you're not talking about.
The irony is that Trump constantly claims to be the smartest man in the room while sounding like he forgot there was even a test. He turns the simplest facts into riddles, as if butchering a country name somehow proves his mastery of foreign policy. Carrey captures it perfectly, channeling the wild, chaotic energy of Ace Ventura trying to treat a sick parrot. It loud, absurd, and utterly detached from reality. Trump's speeches aren't about informing anyone. They're about reassuring himself that he's still in charge, even as the words slip out of his grasp.
Trump.
This whole thing has brought back my 8-year-old self. It's been a gift from God. It's like literally like brought me back to 8 years old, where I used to sit in my room. Trump is toast. Yeah, man.
And so you just kind of digest the news of the day.
It's an affirmation.
Robert
Mueller putting the squeeze on the president. Just to relieve.
And control is exactly what he never had. Every decision seemed like it came from a man consulting a magic 8-ball instead of an advisor. Carrey mocks Trump impulsiveness by painting a president shaking toys in meetings instead of reading briefings. One day it tariffs, the next it tweets, and by the day after, it another meltdown that sends markets into chaos. Real leadership demands vision. Trump operates on reflex, and somehow always manages to pick the worst one.
There was a tape of him talking to Bob Woodward, right? We heard that this week. At the end of it, he gets a little frustrated and he says, well, accurate is that nobody's ever done a better job than I'm doing as president. He says, how can you...
Job of what? Job of what? Demolition Man?
Right.
When it comes to loyalty, Trump ran the White House like a reality show elimination round. Staffers weren't governing, they were groveling, terrified that missing an applause cue might get them fired. Carrey nails the absurdity, likening it to a circus where the ringmaster fires the clowns mid-act and replaces them with the elephants. By the end of each season, the turnover was so chaotic it felt like watching the end credits of a bad sketch show scroll in real time. Trump's obsession with image only made the satire richer. He treated optics like they mattered more than outcomes. Policy wasn't about progress, it was about applause. Carrey amplifies this by mimicking Trump's striking photo op poses while the chaos of governance erupts behind him. The man can't fix a thing, but he'll still tilt his chin to the perfect angle, as if auditioning for his own biopic. Carrey pushes it further, miming Trump pulling slot machine levers every time he meets a foreign leader, and no matter how many times he spins, the jackpot never changes. Awkward stares, fake smiles, and the global reminder that America once handed the presidency to a game show host.
That'd be great.
Who was the teacher you draw pictures of? Do you remember his or her name?
Mrs. Gervais.
Ah,
and she was a super, ultra hip teacher.
Oh.
Literally, like grade 6, she was, first of all, I was at the back of the classroom drawing pictures of her getting, like, attacked and missiled and axes in her head and things like that. Yeah. It's like, I hadn't learned how to be correct yet. Yeah, she took them all.
Oh, she confiscated them.
Kind of scalded me, but not really. And then once I got famous, she sent them all back to me.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice thing to do.
She saved them because she knew what was going to happen in the world, Jimmy. She knew.
She knew?
She knew.
The economy under Trump turns into a full-blown slapstick act. He brags about numbers he clearly doesn't understand, celebrates job growth while millions still struggle, and takes credit for every success while blaming everyone else for his own disasters. Carrey turns it into vaudeville, Trump gleefully counting stacks of monopoly money as the real cash register is looted behind him. It economic policy as performance art theater of the absurd dressed up in a red tie. When it comes to scandals, Trump doesn't just stumble into them. He mass-produces them like they're part of his brand. Each week brings a new outrage, perfectly timed for late-night monologues. Carrey captures it by channeling a Carnival Barker version of Trump shouting, "Step right up, folks. Brand new scandal today, bigger, louder, and dumber than yesterday." The chaos never stops, a non-stop production line of self-inflicted crises powered by his refusal to take responsibility. And when the pandemic hit, the act went from comedy to tragedy. Trump treated press briefings like open mic nights, riffing off a script written in disappearing ink. His obsession with image didn't stop there. Even climate change became another PR nightmare he tried to wave away, as if denial could outshine disaster.
There, right? That even if it's not, even if he's not worth $10 billion, he must be worth like $1 billion as opposed to, a few million, or as opposed to being in debt a few million, right?
He reported 100 and he was worth 5.
Right.
So that's the ratio of truth to bullshit with Trump. Basically, anything he says is 20 to 1. Okay? It's 20.
Carrey drives the point home by mimicking Trump rolling out a green carpet over a flood and triumphantly declaring the crisis fixed. For Trump, optics always trump reality. Perception is preparation, and the environment is just another stage prop for a photo op. His rallies morph into grotesque self-parodies. He rants to adoring crowds as if sheer volume equals truth, recycling the same lines like a stand-up comic bombing but too stubborn to leave the stage. Carrey envisions him as a washed-up lounge singer who's forgotten the lyrics yet keeps bellowing noise because the band won't stop playing. These aren't political events. They're ego spectacles dressed up as patriotism, less about inspiring citizens and more about feeding a man addicted to applause. Even his feud with the media becomes a farce. Trump rails against reporters while obsessively devouring every headline, hating the attention he secretly craves. Carrey turns this into brilliant physical comedy, Trump furiously flipping through newspapers, then tucking them under his pillow like bedtime trophies. The contradiction is so blatant it barely needs parody. It's already pure slapstick. And through it all, the myth of Trump as a strong man collapses under Carrey mockery. In Trump world, strength means shouting louder, pouting harder, and posing longer, a blustering performance that mistakes intimidation for leadership and ego for power.
this administration is a rabid dog, and it's turning us upside down. And all, as far as I'm concerned, it's as obvious as the nose on your face, But people have made these elections and politics in general who they are, and it's not who you are. You can make a bad decision about a candidate. It's not who you are. It doesn't mean you're dumb.
Carrey takes it further with exaggerated chest thumping, puffing himself up like a cartoon rooster in a barnyard fight he started but has no idea how to finish. The message is clear: real strength takes substance, and Trump is all feathers, no fight. Then there's the endless victimhood routine. Trump whines about being treated unfairly while wielding more power than anyone else in the nation. He casts himself as the underdog in a system built to serve him. Carrey transforms this into tragicomedy, the world's most powerful man sulking like a sitcom character who didn't get invited to prom. A theater of self-pity, starring a man addicted to grievance in a role that demands grit. Even Trump's take on history is ripe for mockery. He mangles facts, scrambles timelines, and name-drops past presidents like he skimmed their bios in an airport bookstore. Carrey turns this into a sketch of Trump standing before Mount Rushmore, trying to guess who, then bragging for getting 2 out of 4 right. The absurdity barely needs exaggeration, reality itself plays like parody. Trump's ego isn't just a character flaw, it's the engine behind every chaotic turn of his presidency. Every decision filters through one question: how will this look on TV? And not about the country, it's about the applause. Never designed to solve real problems, they were crafted to keep his name in the headlines. Jim Carrey captures this perfectly, painting a portrait of a man who sees history not as a continuum of struggle and progress, but as the opening credits to his own reality show. Under Trump, the presidency stopped being about leadership and became pure stagecraft. He didn't act like a steward of the nation, he played the starring role in a never-ending production where the audience's only job was to cheer. Carrey skewers this delusion by imagining Trump running cabinet meetings like casting calls, auditioning loyalists, whose only qualification is that they won't upstage him even as they stumble through their lines. The administration doesn't resemble a government so much as an improv troupe with one unbreakable rule: every scene must end with applause for the lead. At the podium, Trump waits for laughs that never come, delivering answers designed not to inform but to impress, not to explain but to inflate. The American public tunes in expecting leadership and instead gets a one-man variety show, loud, chaotic, and forgettable the moment the lights go out.
I can break bread with anybody in this country. I love people in this country. I love the heartland of this country. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, it's become obvious that the choice was a bad one. We just need to change it. And if you can't vote for a Democrat, at least let all this flood of information that's so negative and so obvious.
The great irony of Trump's endless chase for validation is that it guarantees he can't be taken seriously. Real leaders are remembered for their service and accomplishments. Trump will be remembered for his fixation on being remembered. Carrey drives this home by imagining Trump unveiling monuments not to American triumphs, but to his own self. He's a presidency reduced to a parody of self-celebration, where the loudest applause comes from the echo in his own head. Yet beneath all the slapstick lies a thread of tragedy. What remains isn't the image of a president, but a caricature stumbling through history in oversized shoes, making plenty of noise but leaving little of worth behind. Trump turned the Oval Office into a circus, and Carrey tears away the curtain to show that the ringmaster was never in control. He was the clown all along, mistaking the laughter for respect.